All right. What is happening, everybody? Welcome back. Week 10, fantasy football starts at live stream. We're going to kick things off as we always do, of course, with our superlatives picks of the week while people start to file in here, while the questions gather up. Let's get things kicked off here. I will start it off here with my lock of the week. Basically a pick, spread, over, under, whatever that we think is going to be an absolute lock. And I have personally laid some cash on this one. The Atlanta-Arizona game, over 44 points is what I'm taking here. With Kyler Murray back, with the way that the Falcons should be able to run the ball in this game, I think, we got turnover-prone quarterbacks as well. Kyler Murray coming off of a multi-year, basically, absence, and then Taylor Heineke. So I think the big plays, the turnovers and all that kind of stuff will lend itself to a high-scoring game there, Arizona and Atlanta. So I'm taking the over of 44 points there.
Yeah, and like you guys will see in a second that I agree in accordance that this is going to be a high-scoring game, and you'll see in a second why I agree with that. But my lock of the week is actually going to go to my own team, and I understand that on the
Nobody is
level,
shocked that this was Danny's lock of the week. 0 people.
17.5 is a lot of points, but at the end of the day, I'm betting against Danny DeVito's bastard son. Like, what is he going to do against that defense? Are we talking about 10 points? Are we talking about 9 points? Because I'll tell you right now, in the last 11 games at home, the Cowboys have put up 34 points per game. Mathematically, I just can't get to a fact where the Giants actually cover in this game. Like, Tommy DeVito might throw the ball 12 times in this game for the Giants to score 7 points because Saquon Barkley touched the ball 40 times.
Yeah, here's how the Giants cover, because I think it's possible. I don't think it's likely. Here's how the Giants cover.
Bad balance.
Your offense turns the ball over for starters. That would be one of the ways that they could cover. And also, Saquon busts off a long run. Cowboys struggle on offense. Yeah. Giants defense maybe steps up. Maybe it's not the Cowboys offense necessarily. It's just the Giants defense playing well. So I could imagine this game being relatively low scoring. The over-under isn't high, even though the Cowboys are getting 17 points of wood. It's like 39 points or 40 points or something like that. So
it's an implied
if this game is 6-13, like the Giants cover.
Fair. I just keep coming back to the fact that I can't see the Giants actually putting up 10 points, and B, like 28 points. If the Cowboys don't score 28 points today, I would be pretty shocked. Not to mention, I mean, the sharps are all over this as well. Nearly 90% of the sharp money is going on the Cowboy spread, despite the large line. It comes to a point where when you're facing a bad team with a really big spread, when they have their starting quarterback, that's when you have to start to be wary, because again, starting quarterbacks can always, cover the spreads. When it comes to Tommy DeVito, man, like, I don't think he's an NFL quarterback. Like, I think this guy's going to be taking snaps over here in Canada soon.
Yeah, no, I get you on that one for sure. So let's move on over here to our underdog picks of the week. So these are straight up underdogs, guys that are not favored via Vegas, that we think could outright win. So if you guys are betting some money lines this week, of course, sponsored by our partners over at Underdog Fantasy, use promo code FSE for 100% back. And also, too, they have a special offer for new customers right now. If you guys are new to Underdog Fantasy, you can get access to this half total yard Garrett Wilson special if you use promo code FSE. So definitely check that out if you're interested. But my underdog pick of the week here is the Minnesota Vikings money line against the New Orleans Saints. They're at home. Josh Dobbs performed at a pretty high level last week. The Saints are I think if I made a league median of who are the average teams in the NFL, both of these teams probably would be at it, but especially the New Orleans Saints. They're a good defense that shows up for the big games, but when they're playing against a team that's not a superstar caliber team, sometimes they let the wheels off, or like let the steam off the gas there. And also, Derek Carr is like good for one game, bad for 2 games type of quarterback. So I think that Josh Dobbs will outduel him. I think the weapons that the Vikings have will be too much to deal with for the Saints defense, and I actually think they're going to win this game.
Yeah. The only pause I do have with their money line this week is that KJ Osborne is out, and I believe TJ Hawkinson's on a pitch count for this game. So monitor that status, because if both those guys are going to be, banged up, obviously Osborne out, Hawkinson not really a big integral part of the game plan. Like, we're going to need a Herculean effort over there from Jordan Addison, which I would take personally for my fantasy football teams, knowing how much stock I have on Addison. So I like Minnesota. I think they are, they got the good vibes going, big time performance last week. I can definitely see that. I mean, Josh Dobbs has been playing well above his pay grade so far. So I go on to my underdog pick of the week. And like I kind of mentioned, you mentioned the Arizona-Atlanta game going over 44. I think the Arizona Cardinals are straight up just going to win this game at home. They are 2.5 point underdogs at home. Kyler Murray's first game back. This offense is just going to take up to new heights, in my opinion. As much as I like Josh Dobbs, what he's able to do for this offense, you're going from maybe, a top 25-ish level quarterback to a legit top 12-ish level quarterback when Kyler Murray gets back to his level. And with all that being said, yes, the ACL is going to limit his, rushing ability, but the guy can still sling the rock. He's still got weapons on the outside, like you guys will see in my safe play of the week, to be able to get it done. So I do like the Arizona Cardinals. I don't think Atlanta is at this point, the team of the public at this rate, knowing what Arthur Smith's doing, knowing what, Bijan Robinson's been held to, Kyle Pitts, et cetera there. It also would just be really satisfying if they lost at this point. So they know, get the ball in your playmakers to win games.
Also, my lock of the week every week should be take the under on London and Germany games, because I have bet the under on every London and Germany game, and I'm pretty sure it's hit every single time, because this one, I mean, Mac Jones just threw an interception at the end of this game. That was a horrible decision. I actually had a parlay going where I needed a Stevenson touchdown for it to hit, and that kind of just screwed me. So shout out to Mac Jones for being the disappointment that he is. Going nuts picks. Let's get into these right here. We got, of course, you guys know the drill here. When we make this pick, we need these guys to go nuts for 20 plus PPR points per game in order to get credit for them. I am a measly 1-8 on the season with a number of serious injuries to the players that I've picked. So I'm picking somebody that's on my own fantasy team, which is really sketchy. So I'm going to go with Calvin Ridley here to go nuts. He's been, I would say, relatively a disappointment for where you drafted him. A lot of people are talking about him as a big bust. And of course, I mean, we were really high on Calvin Ridley, so not looking good so far. But I think this might be the game that he gets right. I think the Jags and 49ers, that game could sneakily be relatively high scoring as well. So I like Calvin Ridley, go over 100 yards, 9 catches, score a touchdown kind of game. So give me a 1-pointer if you think that's not a bold take, 2-pointer if you think it is a bold take, and a 3-pointer if you think it is a really bold take. And I might remind you that Calvin Ridley is not even a wide receiver 2 on the season right now. So I personally think that should be a 3-pointer, but we'll see.
Not with the guy that I got coming up, because you could show the graphic right now, put on that going nuts. I'm going for an absolute onion hanger here. An absolute onion hanger. And listen, guys, you're saying 3 right now, but once you hear mine, that's got to be a 2. Mine's got to be a 3, because we're going with Khalil Shakir Monday Night Football against the Denver Broncos. We're going gutty here. He's a ranked top 40 wide receiver for me. Obviously, Gabe Davis is there. Stephon Diggs is there. This offense is going to put up points. Don't get me wrong. But at the end of the day here, you're competing with Kincaid. You're competing with Diggs. You're competing with Gabe Davis. Khalil Shakir, man, I think he just might be the second best wide receiver in that team. I think he might even be a better receiver than Gabe Davis. If he keeps getting 70+% of the snaps, I think he can go for, 6 catches, 80 yards, a touchdown in this game, which would meet that 20-point qualifier. So I don't know how you guys can rate Shakir and Ridley on the same scale right now, but
a 3-pointer is a 3-pointer. It doesn't matter what mine is. Yours is a 3-pointer. Like, let's just call a spade a spade. But mine could still be a 3-pointer, even though it's relatively bold. Calvin Ridley hasn't done shit since week 1. So
the boys are trolling.
I'll take a 2-pointer if that's all you guys want to give me. But I actually think both of these are 3-pointers, and maybe we'll give you 4 if Shakir actually does that, because it's pretty insane.
Take it
if he does. Let's close things out with our safe play of the week, and then we'll get into all of your guys' questions here. Of course, presented by Aura, best cybersecurity out there. Definitely check the link down below in the description for a 14-day free trial. My safe play of the week is a guy that was actually out last game with Drake London going up against the Cardinals. A lot of Cardinals and Falcons related ones for us here. I think the reason he's a safe play, great catch by Josh Downs, by the way. Yeah. The reason he's a safe play is because Drake London is consistently getting, 25, 30% target shares on every single game in and game out. And we haven't really seen him with Taylor Heineke yet. So with Taylor Heineke, a guy that's going to be more prone to throw the ball up for grabs to his big receiver, I think we could get a really solid game out of Drake London. And I think for that reason, like if you guys have Drake London on your team, I'd be hard pressed to sit this guy, because I think he has both a high floor and a high ceiling this week in a really good matchup now with Taylor Heineke.
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny because I guess our game of the week is just the Arizona-Atlanta game, because my safe play of the week is Marquise Brown going up against Atlanta. I think both these wide receivers, target magnets in their own offenses, sneaky, high-scoring game environment like you kind of mentioned with the overcall there at over 44. I think we could be getting, the sneaky barn burner of the week, the 27-23, Arizona last-second comeback. Kyler Murray throws a touchdown to Marquise Brown. I can absolutely see that being in the cards. Funny enough, speaking, out of prophecy, Ron actually made a bet yesterday that he just needed Blake Corum to score a second touchdown, part of his bet. And he messaged me, he's like, how are we feeling on this? I'm like, I'm telling you right now, Blake Corum's going to score. Michigan's going to win this game 24-15. That was the final
Devastating
score.
that you didn't actually bet that.
I wish I bet final score because that would have been epic.
Yeah. That's pretty crazy, though. Yeah, I saw Ron cash for what, $400 something or something like that?
550, I think.
550. Yeah, that's a pretty hefty one. I won 750 last week on two separate. I bet 3, and we're going to do the same thing today because last week I did an anytime touchdown for the early slate and it didn't hit, but I did it again for the late slate without your guys' advice. So maybe I shouldn't do it with you guys live. And that ended up hitting and won me like $350, I think it was. Yeah, that's also Danny. So Danny's just proven that he's not capping there. So
2:08 p.m. Yesterday, 24-15 final score. I've seen this song and dance before.
Yeah. Also, we're gonna need our FFPC team badly needs like a breakaway 70-yard Jonathan Taylor garbage time touchdown.
Don't we have
Mario Douglas actually called?
I was gonna say
earlier, so that helps us out a little bit. But JT is like our only starter that's not on bye this week because we have T Higgins out with an injury. We have Jamar Chase hobbled. We have DeAndre Swift, Raheem Mostert, Devon Achane on bye. Like our team is probably going to take an L this week if we don't get lucky here and get a spike performance from Burrow and Kyle Pitts and some of our remaining starters.
We're going to need to pull it out of our ass. Let's be real.
Yeah, and this guy's team's going to need to shit the bed, basically. So,
did we get Irv Smith, by the way?
We did. Yeah, we did. So we got to start Irv Smith. I'm actually, it's funny because in my home league, I have T Higgins, and for some reason, I handcuffed my team with Tyler Boyd on my bench. So I'm like, all right, I guess I'm just going to play Tyler Boyd instead of T Higgins. I could go with Singletary. Let me know what you thought. Like, you're going Boyd there, though, right? In a full PPR league.
Singletary,
there is bonuses to running back, so that factors in a little bit, but it's not a great matchup on the other side of that game. Like the Bengals are pretty good against the run. So
what are we getting? 15 carries for 21 yards from Singletary this week?
I mean, probably. I have him as a wide receiver 26 or running back 26. Sorry, on the week, and I think he's an okay play. I just wouldn't play him over like established options.
Yeah. I mean, he went 13 for 26 last week, so I'm not too far off there. Pick 2 half PPR, London, Wilson, Ridley. Assuming that's Garrett Wilson. I have London, Wilson as my 2 here. I'm assuming you're going to go Ridley because you're going nuts.
No, I have Wilson and London higher than Ridley.
Oh, fair. Where do you have Ridley ranked this week?
What?
Where do you have Ridley ranked this week?
I have Ridley at 22, but I have London at 19.
So I have Ridley higher than you do. I have him at 19.
Okay, well, yeah, I love London this week. I think he's going to go.
He's my 17,
nuts, literally. So I guess Ridley is the guy I think is going to go nuts. I think Ridley just has a higher ceiling, but I actually very easily could have went with London as my going nuts pick as well because I think he's a great option this week.
That's fair. I agree. I have London at 17 overall, so you don't have to convince me about that. What's up, guys? Flex 1, K9, Olave, Javonte. I mean, K9 versus Olave. Unless you have
Javonte. I have Javonte higher than K9. Wow, so it would be between Olave and Javonte for me.
Give me Olave.
I'll take Javonte Williams against Olave if you want to do the bet there.
PPR? Bang it in.
He doesn't specify here.
I mean, that's why I'm asking you. You want to do PPR?
I mean, it favors you to do PPR, so I would prefer to do half PPR. But let us know, Carlos. What is your league format? We'll do whatever.
Yeah, what's the format? Yeah, curious. Aggie says Jahmyr Gibbs. I appreciate the super chat, by the way. Jahmyr Gibbs, Javonte, Breece at running back, pick 2. Then need to flex between Tank Dell, Deontay Johnson, Addison, and Najee. So for the first one, it's, in my opinion, Gibbs and Breece.
Yeah, and he also said it's full PPR, by the way.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm going Gibbs and Breece there. I actually have Javonte higher than Gibbs.
Okay, would you want to do that too?
I mean, I want to bet on Javonte twice. I already have a bet on Javonte already against Foreman Thursday night.
Oh, right.
So I'm not doing 3 Javonte bets. I suppose I'd sweep them all if he just cooks, which I think he will. But I'd go Javonte and Breece with this first pick 2 here, and then of your flex option there, I'm taking Deontay Johnson and Tank Dell over. Or sorry, not Tank Dell, Addison, not Tank Dell.
Fair.
Sorry,
I have
Addison and Tank Dell really close though.
Deontay's the number 1 though. Very easily.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, okay. But I actually I have Tank Dell. I literally have Tank Dell at 26, and I have Addison at 25. Like they're that close.
I have Addison at 24, Dell at 26. Who do you have mixed in there,
really
Debo?
Close. Like I would say Dell actually probably has the higher ceiling. We've seen his boom performances,
Sure.
and Addison has like a pretty tough matchup relative to what
I
Tank
mean,
Dell's dealing with, and Nico is out. Like, I don't
they're
hate
very
going Tank
similar.
Dell over Addison there.
I mean, on one side, obviously with Tank Dell, you got the injury to Nico Collins, and I mean, you're still playing a really good defense from Cincinnati. On the other end, with Jordan Addison, you got injury to KJ Osborne, you got limited snaps to TJ Hawkinson. So I do feel like they're both going to be prioritizing the game plan. It's just, I think Jordan Addison's a better player, so I'm going to trust that as the tiebreaker.
Yeah. I also didn't mention this too, by the way. In that Tyler Boyd Singletary decision, I also have Dalton Schultz in a tight end premium, which would maybe factor in.
Yeah, fuck. By the way, would you rather
I think I'm still going to start Boyd, but I think Schultz could reasonably actually be the best option there.
I'll give you the option. You want me to take Javonte versus Olave or Javonte versus Jameer?
I will take Javonte versus Jameer if given the choice.
Okay. All right, bet. I'll change it to Jameer because I'm confident with both.
Scott said, I can't wait for you guys to bet on this one just because we always bet on his questions. But Gino or Dobbs? Who do you have higher of this group? I think I have Gino higher.
I have Gino at 12, Dobbs at 14.
Yeah, I have 13 and 16, Gino higher. So I would go Gino there. And then Warren or Addison. In full PPR, I'm going Addison. Yeah. Warren doesn't get that much receiving work to buoy him up in full PPR.
All day. Official says PPR have London, McLaurin, Najee, Taysom. Jamar's suiting up, but I'm afraid he won't be used a ton. Should I start any one of these guys over him?
Dude, I want to get London in my lineup if I can, but I will say Jamar has to be in your lineup if he's playing, I think.
How is that your bench is what I'm wondering.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering as well. Like, do you have a better
Can we not consolidate
option than London in your flexes right now? Because I would prefer to start London over like a lot of receivers and Terry too. Like I have Terry pretty high as well. So
I have Terry one spot ahead of London.
Have like a shallow league or something like that. I'm assuming.
Yeah, for sure. Let us know, official. Let us know. With that being said, though, I wouldn't start any of them over Jamar.
No.
Half PPR pick 2, Addison, Debo, Ridley, Javonte. I'm probably going Ridley and Javonte.
2 ranked guys here.
Javonte and Ridley, yeah. Ridley or Tank Dell, full PPR. Give me Ridley there, Brett.
I'll take Ridley as well, but I like Tank this week.
For sure. G has a $5 super chat. Check to see if there's a comment with it.
Yeah, I'll look for it right now.
Bet.
Or actually, you should probably do that because I got to go back up to the top.
Wait, Bailey Zappi's in.
Yeah, he is.
Did they bench him?
Yeah, it's the end of the game, but I guess
they have a chance to win.
End of the game. This is like they can win the game still. That's pretty crazy. That's a real benching. That's not whatever.
Wait, what the fuck? Oh yeah,
I'm playing against Ramondre in my home league right now, and I'd be really annoyed if Ramondre backdoor covered my bet on on this one here.
By the way, official, I would if it's not too shallow, definitely try to consolidate because you do not need 6 people on your bench that would be in everyone else's starting lineups.
Is Zappy about to cook here?
Hope so. That'd be pretty dope. By the way, yeah, G, if you have a comment, oh no, I see it. Full PPR starting lineup: Goff, Kamara, ETN, Diggs, Hopkins, Schultz, flex Marquise Brown. His flex is super flex is Brock Purdy. On his bench, he has Addison, Kirk, Adams. Any changers that is?
I think I want to get Kirk into my lineup. That would be the one guy that stands out.
Adams got to get in your lineup.
Oh, Adams is on his bench. Yeah. Yeah, Adams is in over
Hopkins.
Yeah, I think I'm leaving Marquise in over Hopkins as well.
Easily, yeah. In my opinion.
Yeah, I have Kirk. I think the highest of that group.
No way.
I have Kirk at 13, dude. I have Adams and Kirk would be I would put Hopkins and Marquise on your bench, to be honest.
Hopkins and Marquise. You want to do a Marquise versus Kirk?
Yeah, let's do it. I like both of them this week, but so we're of no help to you. Sorry, G. But the way I would set my lineup is I would put Christian Kirk in as my flex and Devontae Adams in as my wide receiver 2. And I would leave Hopkins and Marquise. Hopkins for sure. He has struggled against Carlton Davis, and he's going to see Carlton Davis today. I know Davis isn't having a good season, but Hopkins averages 4 PPR points against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers the last 2 years. The 3 times that they've played, Carlton's been on him every single time, and Carlton shut him down every single time. They're big physical receiver versus big physical corner. It's not a good matchup for him.
So the only difference we have is he would have Kirk in for Marquise. I would have Marquise.
Yeah, I think Kirk is the better play of the 49ers. Surprisingly, like I know everyone's scared of them as a defense. They're not really that good against wide receivers.
They're bad against outside wide receivers. That's why I think it's more of a Ridley game than a Kirk game. Because it's more so
Kirk plays on the outside because Zay isn't healthy. So
I mean Zay's back this week, no?
No, he's not. He's out.
Oh, so he got ruled out. I know he was
Yeah,
questionable.
he was
Fair
ruled
enough.
out pretty early in the week. I think it was like Thursday or something like that.
Really, eh? It
Yeah.
must have been Friday because it was after the video then. That's
Oh, okay. Well,
wow.
yeah. Then
Fair play.
maybe it was later than that.
Fair play. But full
PPR
PPR.
pick 2: Godwin, Gabe, or Terry. Zappy just threw a pick, by the way.
So
Terry McLaurin, I think, is my highest of this group. Yeah, he's my
yeah,
highest of
easily.
this group. And then I think it's between Godwin and Gabe, like one safe, one ceiling. What do you
I go
need?
Godwin.
Like, that's honestly like what it comes down to. I think Godwin is probably the guy I would go with because it's full PPR. But if you're an underdog this week, I'm fine going Davis over him.
Yeah. Though I will say, like, I think Shakir might just outscore Davis this week.
This is a Davis week, bro. Like, it's lining up for a Davis
It
week. You
could
got
be.
Sertan on the outside against Diggs. Like, this is a Davis week.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think Shakir.
I mean,
limits his
Shakir could
ceiling
eat too,
to a
and
certain-
so could Kincaid.
yeah.
I mean, Kincaid literally is just stealing everybody's targets at this point.
Kincaid's insane, bro.
He's a beast.
Hawk or Schultz PPR. Typically, I would just insta say Hawk, but knowing he's on a pitch count, I do have to adjust it in my rankings. Like, where are you putting
I
Hawkins?
didn't even actually see that.
There was a report that came out literally like an hour and a half ago or so. Let me see if I can find it. I saw it on Twitter.
Officially active, suiting up despite a rib injury. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm going to move him down below Schultz, to be honest. I think I'd play Schultz over him
too. So he was currently my tight end 4, but I'm going to move him down probably below probably below Pitts, to be honest, bro. I don't want to.
I have him at 8. I still have him ahead of Pitts.
I moved him to 11. I just don't want to risk it at tight end.
I moved him to 8. So if you have Taysom Hill, Dalton Schultz, Evan Ingram, George Kittle, somebody like that, Kincaid, Laporta, like I would start those guys over Hawkinson this week, just given the pitch count.
Yep, that's fair. PPR flex start 1. Tank Dell, Taysom Hill, or Debo Samuel. I think I have Debo the highest, but like Tank's literally right there. Also, that's actually a good question overall because I think Taysom's probably got the highest ceiling because of the goal line work.
So who did you say here, Debo or Tank?
I would go Debo, but they're literally like all similar plays, I think.
Yeah, I think I go Debo as well, but it's a little sketchy because he's coming off a multi-week injury. So if you're like,
he did have the bye though.
Huh? Yeah, he did have a bye.
Week.
He did have a bye, but like I'm just saying, like it's when you have a guy coming off a multi-week
injury,
I tend to use that as a tiebreaker if it's remotely close. And I think Tank Dell is in a pretty good spot this week, so I wouldn't hate going Tank Dell as just the safest play of that group. But Debo is probably the best play, I think.
I also don't think Taysom's a bad option, which is like gross.
No, I don't think he's a bad option either. I think eventually the clock's going to strike midnight on Taysom Hill just being a monster every single week, but I mean it might not be this week.
Yeah, no, I agree. Full PPR, 1 wide receiver, 1 flex, Flowers, Watson, JSN, Gus Bus. Probably Flowers and Watson.
I think I like Flowers and JSN the most there, to be honest.
I don't mind that either. I think JSN's
got a really good matchup, and Watson's been so irritating, and so is Jordan Love. Honestly, I think I'm just gonna go Flowers and JSN.
You want to trust the implied team total of the Seahawks this week? Go with JSN. Honestly, maybe with Watson, it's like if you leave him out of your lineup for 1 week, you could just see him pop off and know that he can get back into your lineup.
Which would be very Watson of him, by the way, based on what he's done so far this year. The second everybody benches the guy is when he has his big performance. Did you update the Vegas stuff, by the way?
Yeah, spreads. Yeah.
Okay, so this is now week 10, and Danny has never updated when the updated time was in the on our sheet, on our weekly ranking sheet. It says when the information was last updated, and even though Danny updates the information every Sunday morning, he never changes it to last updated when it was updated.
I'm not gonna lie because it sorts by the buys at the top there with the yellow highlight. I think my eyes just fucking deceive me, and I just assume it's part of the bye week, so I don't even notice it.
Yeah, and also during the games, by the way, our Dynasty Rankings manifesto has gone through a big update, so I will throw that over on the site during the games. So if you guys want to check out our Dynasty Rankings, our 2024 prospects are in there as well, top 50 2024 prospects. Big update. I had to move Jaden Daniels up quite a bit because I think he's going to start getting some decent buzz. All these quarterbacks, is it me or does it feel like there's like 7 quarterbacks that could go in the first round but probably won't?
I think there's probably there's 2 guaranteed round 1 quarterbacks.
Yeah, Caleb and Drake are the 2 guaranteed round 1 quarterbacks.
After that,
plus Penix, I think is guaranteed to go in the first round.
I don't think he's guaranteed.
I mean,
The
health
the
could
medicals are a
fuck him
thing.
up
That's
too.
why. The
What's
medicals
up?
and the age are a thing. That's why I'm
Yeah,
making
I
it
don't
in.
think the NFL cares about the age, to be honest. I think the
I mean,
medicals is what they would care about.
you could make the argument like him versus Levis as a prospect. Like like Levis had the traits, Penix had the production.
Yeah, I
Levis
think
went
I
33.
think the NFL value the production in the final season more.
Fair. And then I mean, like with a guy like JJ McCarthy, you won't know about his
I
fucking.
also could see JJ not going in the first round though too. That's what I
No,
mean. Like I
but
don't think he's a
that's what I was gonna
guaranteed
point
player
out.
to go in the first round. I don't think
I
Quinn looks
his
pretty bad still, but like he could also go in the first round as well because he's got the tools and in the draft process he could get elevated.
Well, that's the thing with JJ McCarthy right now. His eval is incomplete until we see him actually sling the ball against a good team. Like yesterday, I had the prime game plan, but Jerome Moore's the running backs coach. He gets promoted to head coach.
I told you this was going to happen, man. They're going to let him sling it against bad
not
teams,
with
and
Harbaugh.
once they play Ohio State and the big teams, they're going to hide him.
I don't think that's going to happen against Ohio State because Ohio State doesn't have the edge rushers that Penn State does. Like I can't exaggerate enough just how dominant the Penn State defensive line was from a pass rushing standpoint in those first two drives.
Yeah, Chop looks dominant.
We tried to throw the ball.
Yeah.
JJ was getting pressured every play. So we're like, okay, fuck it. They can't stop the run. We're averaging 5.5 yards per clip on the ground, and we're up. So, like, do we really trust Drew Aller to fucking put together a big drive against us? No, because Drew Aller.
Can we stop with the Drew Aller stuff?
He stinks.
He's like Bo Nix all over again.
It's unreal, bro. It's unreal. So we'll see in 2 weeks if the game plan does open up. Hopefully by then Harbaugh's on the sideline because I don't understand how you can rule him out for the regular season without any finite like true proof. Like how do you make that type of punishment without the full case being complete yet? That's what I don't get. But anyways, I digress. I'm a Michigan fan. You guys are going to know I'm going to be talking through those maize and blue colored lenses.
Yeah. Alfredo was a big super chat. Appreciate that,
that,
Alfredo. He says start 2 standard 10 team, I'm assuming. Keenan Allen, Javonte Williams, Devontae Adams, Jordan Addison. So in a standard league, I want Javonte Williams in my lineup, to be honest. But at the same time, Keenan and Adams are also like must plays. So I don't know. Keenan would be the locked in starter, I think, here. Given that Adams is playing the Jets, it's like a tough matchup. It's probably gonna be a low scoring game. It would be between Javonte and Adams here.
In a standard, it's closer
here, dude.
In a standard, if you don't want to play risk because you're the big time favorite here, I don't mind that. Just because it's a standard. If it's if it was any type of PPR, obviously you adjust. But yeah, I don't hate that. Where you at with it?
The under on that Patriots game was such a lock. The score was 10-6. He also says McBride or Ferguson at tight end. Standard. I want Ferguson.
Ferguson, easy. Yeah. 28 implied points.
I'm 6-3 going against Ridley, Pollard, Olave, Trevor Lawrence. He's 2-7, sitting London and Gabe. Well, he's a moron. So, anyways, official says 12-man league, Hollywood flex, no one trading me. So yeah, I mean, if you can't consolidate assets and it's a 12-man league, that's kind of difficult, but you should try for sure.
That's right. That's wild that nobody wants to trade with you, even though they probably have like.
I mean, some people, when someone's team is really good, they'll just won't trade with them out of principle because their team is good. Like I've seen people do that.
I know. No, people have done that to me. That's why.
Yeah, people have done that to me as well. And people do it to the best team in the league. Like I remember one year, the first year that I won, my team was not the best in the league. There was a team that had like Tyreek Hill, Keenan Allen, Mike Evans, like a bunch of really good players in 2020. And nobody wanted to trade with them. And the commissioner kept saying like, nobody trade with this guy. His team is already too good. And he didn't even end up winning. And I kept saying it. I'm like, Duke never wins March Madness.
Dude, that's fucked up though. When
whoever's the favorite never wins the championship in fantasy.
I'm sorry, but when the commissioner says nobody trade with him, that's kind of
that's just how Amir is. He doesn't actually tell people. Like people, some will listen.
Oh, it's the boys' league. Okay, it's the boy. I thought
home league.
Okay, right. I thought you were talking about a different league. That's why I'm like, I thought it was just somebody you didn't know, and like someone just noticed like this one random team's like.
No, he was just like, you guys are morons. Don't trade with this guy. Is what he's doing.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah.
Because that's how we got the team, was people doing stupid shit and trading like Tyreek Hill to him for like 2 players.
This, by the way.
Yeah, but this one was first.
Wait, no, it's not. Alfredo's is literally right before it in the order.
Oh, okay. In my order, AJ's is first.
They're at the same time. That's so weird. Watson and Hunt for Adams. Should I trade Walker for Pollard? I also have Bijan. I literally love both of those moves.
Yeah, same. Christian Watson and Hunt for Adams. Are you shitting me? Like, that's not even close.
If
Also,
Christian Watson
Watson
was
for Pollard,
performing,
also not really that close.
yeah, no, that's
Yeah,
yeah.
as bad as Pollard has been, like it's been worse for Walker recently.
We'll start to see Tony Pollard put some fantasy
Fuck, I hope
performances
so,
hopefully in
dude.
these
If
next
you
4
guys
weeks.
score 3 special teams touchdowns, I'm gonna lose my mind as a Tony Pollard manager.
We already lock it in. If you guys want to see the odds right now, I don't know what they are. Lock in Deron Bland pick 6. I don't know what they are, but it's gonna happen.
I'd be curious to know what the odds are on Cowboys defense scoring the first touchdown. It's probably really high. And I might actually throw something down on that because if the Giants get the ball first, a Tommy DeVito pick 6 by Deron Bland being the first touchdown, is anybody shocked by that? I might actually do that, to be honest.
It seems likely. Pick 2 wide receivers, 2 flexible PPR: Monty, Javonte, Lockett, Amari, Addison, Ridley, White, K9. Bush better switch Nico out and no Flocker, and I'll be salty as hell. Ooh, you have Nico in your lineup. Oh, buddy.
Honestly, so when I set my lineups, I'm always like doing the leagues I'm competitive in and my redraft leagues first.
I do the same.
And then I get to my tanking dynasty leagues last, like before the buzzer.
You, me, same page there. I do the same thing. In terms of this, though, you're starting 4 of these guys. So Monty's in your lineup.
I have to start. You know what's funny? I have to start CEH, who's on bye this week because Zonovan Knight and Zonovan Knight's on IR. Sean Tucker and CEH are my only running backs on my roster. So I actually have to start a player who's on bye this week.
Wait, is Tucker? Wait. Oh, that's your RB. That's the other RB.
Also, my bad, AJ. I'll make sure that Quentin Johnston's in instead of Nico Collins. That's gonna do so much.
Dude, watch him have the breakout game this week. Yeah.
Sorry, actually, Quentin Johnston was already in one of my flexes, so not even him. I had to put Hunter Renfrow in.
You play me this week, no? No, wait. Which league do you play me? You play me FSC league, I think. Now with that being said, who are you starting here?
AJ this week.
Oh, right. So
AJ's trying to tank. I think that's why he's saying you better switch out Nico.
Oh, I thought he was competing.
It's max points for anyway, AJ. It doesn't really matter for us.
Dude, I'm somehow not in a playoff spot in that league right now. My team has like the second most points for right now. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's hearing.
Pick 2 wide receivers. Okay, we got to answer this. What's going on here?
Yes. Sorry, I'm trolling.
Monty,
pick 2 wide receivers and 2 flex.
Monty's a lock.
Yeah, I think you got to play 2 wide receivers here. I think Cooper and Ridley are the receivers that I would play.
Yeah.
And then
it
probably
comes
down to Rashad White versus Addison, Lockett, and Kenneth Walker and Javonte. And I think Javonte is probably the...
You go Javonte over K9, eh?
I would. Yeah,
against
I would.
Washington?
100%. I would go Javonte over... Dude, Javonte Williams is playing the Bills. They suck against the run.
But he's also 7-point road underdogs.
The Broncos can put up points, man. Like people, like they're not an anemic offense. They can put up points.
Fair. I don't know, man. K9 might just punch in 2 touchdowns against Washington.
He might. He definitely might. But he also could play 40% of the snaps again against against a good run defense.
Yeah. And if Lockett looked anything like his old self, he would easily be Lockett, which sucks. But I don't know. I would go K9.
Like his old self, so
it looks nothing like him. But yeah, no, we're good then.
Okay, so then go down to Hector here. Good morning, guys. Pick 2 wide receivers and 2 running backs, 1 flex. Okay, so 5 total players by the looks of it here.
Wow.
Half PPR: Debo, Hollywood Brown, Godwin, Olave, Madison, Montgomery, Henry. So Henry and Montgomery are your 2 running backs.
Olave, Hollywood are your receivers.
Yes, and then your flex is Godwin over Madison.
Debo's close to Godwin, but I do have Godwin higher,
I
so
didn't even see Debo. But yeah, Godwin and Debo would be the decision, and Madison wouldn't even factor in, and I actually would start Debo over Godwin.
Really? They're back to me, so I don't.
Yeah,
I don't mind
both guys are like in the mid-20s, I think, in my ranking, so they're not like neither of them are like must plays.
I have Godwin at 23, Debo at 25. So, but yeah, you have where we left off.
Yeah, I got to go all the way back.
Let's just fucking smash these out. No fucking ifs, ands, or buts. We're repping them.
Okay, Rose Dog, first one in here. JSN, Dotson, Christian Watson, or Algier in the flex. You're going Jahan Dotson there, to be honest. I think he's the best play.
Agreed.
Dylan says, good morning. Pick 3 wide receivers: Metcalf, McLaurin, Ridley, and Kirk. Okay, so of the receiver question, I think I actually have Ridley the lowest of this group, I think.
Ridley and Kirk are back-to-back for me. Okay, this is how I will justify it. If you're the favorite and you want the safe projection, you go with Kirk. If you're the underdog and you need a big spike week potential, the way that's happening is the Jaguars getting Calvin Ridley the ball on the outside. So it just depends your team situation because they are literally within 2 or 3 spots for me in my rankings.
So are you sitting a Jags receiver, no doubt, though?
I'm sitting a Jags receiver, no doubt.
Really? So you're not tempted to sit Metcalf? Because Metcalf, I actually
I'm
have
not sitting
closest to
Metcalf.
Ridley of that group. I have Kirk the highest of this group.
Oh, we're doing a Metcalf bet, bro. I haven't liked Metcalf this year, but Washington is literally a sieve in the passing game.
Okay, I am still cautiously optimistic about Metcalf right now. So like I said, I have Kirk the highest of this group. Ridley
Metcalf,
is the lowest. So technically, Ridley
do
is
we
the
have
guy.
a Kirk bet? Did we already bet Kirk? Yeah, we did. Okay, versus Marquise. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'll do, I guess, whatever.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Also, could flex Brian Robinson, I'm assuming that is, not Bijan, or Singletary in that mix. Yeah, you're definitely not doing that.
Would you rather me play you with Marquise Brown or with Metcalf? I'll let you pick the choice.
I'm more scared of Marquise than Metcalf, 100%.
Sure, I'll go DK.
I'll take the guy that doesn't have a 30% target share. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Hawkinson or Jake Ferguson? I would still play Hawkinson. It's close, but I would still play Hawkinson.
I would go Ferguson.
Yeah, shock.
I mean,
Mitchell
team total. Are we rocking?
Yeah,
rocking
it's
that?
a good situation, but I think Hawk is still a better play. Sam Howell or Brock Purdy also start 2 wide receivers: Lockett, Dotson, or Deontay. So quarterback, I'm going
half.
What's up?
PPR half of the last question because I'll lock it in.
PPR, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it said it.
Sam Howell or Brock Purdy. I'm going Howell over Purdy. Howell's been really good this year, and he runs. So I'll take Sam Howell there, and then start 2 wide receivers: Lockett, Dotson, or Deontay. You're sitting Tyler Lockett, right?
Yeah. Until he starts playing better, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I think we may have a super if you want to go to that.
We got a few, so I'm gonna rip them off like a Band-Aid. I don't know why I made that analogy. A K9 versus Javonte Lock-in Bush's 4th Javonte bet. I mean, we technically have 2 listed here. I don't think we could do more than that because sometimes we just overload. I think a couple times I've done like 3 of the same player, and on a couple occasions I've just smashed everyone, and on the other occasions you just like, amen. On the other occasions he's just laid a goose egg. So it's like, I don't know. Gotta have some variety.
They're never close. They are never close. That is true. It's usually like, because we're always betting on like wide receiver 2s and shit. And wide receiver 2s, it's like they're either getting monster performances or they're fucking getting 3 for 35.
Cody appreciates the super. He says 5 and 4 boys, Deontay or Javonte. I know where I'm going here. I want to see if you agree.
I'm going Javonte here.
Deontay Johnson.
I mean, can't do another Javonte bet, but I'm taking Javonte.
I know. If this is full PPR, it's Deontay, man. The targets are just absolutely raking in right now.
You know, Javonte Williams had 30 opportunities last week, right?
Oh, 100%. And I think he's a really good running back play. But in a full PPR, I'm taking the receiver that can get 12 to 14 targets.
Yeah, that's fair.
And he scored his first touchdown.
Also, I do have an underdog slip if you guys want to tail this. And of course, like I said, there is also a special promotion for new depositors right now. You can get a new customer special on this Garrett Wilson half total yard if you use promo code FSE. And if you guys want to tail this, Brock Purdy going 1.5 passing touchdowns in that game. I think he's actually going to get back on track. Even, the 49ers will probably score quite a bit of points, and I think Purdy can throw some touchdowns. Could be a good Ayuk game as well. Christian Kirk, like I said, I believe in him this week, so I like the higher on his receiving yards. Gus Edwards, it's now a three-way timeshare in Cleveland. He had 18% of the snaps last week. 47.5 rushing yards is ridiculously high for Gus Edwards this week. That is so high, and he's not getting that against one of the best defenses in the league. And then Justin Tucker in that same game. I expect what's the score in Baltimore-Cleveland? 13-7?
Baltimore-Cleveland?
Yeah, we're getting 20 points in that game, max.
Hear me out, man. I'm not discounting Lamar Jackson because he historically has played really well against Cleveland.
That's fair. Yeah, that's a fair point. I honestly think the Browns defense will be good enough to slow down the Ravens offense, and the Browns will not do anything against the Ravens on offense either.
Yeah, that's fair. No, I guess I'm just gaslighting myself into Ravens spread.
Pretty much.
AJ, appreciate that. He says, Bush and no flocking your running backs are so slutty, but I respect it. Sutton, Judy, Watson. Do you think Bo Nix is this year's hooker? Seems like it to me. I think Bo Nix is a better prospect than Hooker, personally.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, definitely.
He's playing
It's
real
weird,
football.
weird because like we've been faced with this type of prospect a couple years in a row now. It's bad quarterback who was bad early in his college career, but stayed a long time, gets a lot better.
Ended up
So
very
and
good.
we have two of them with Penix too. So like that's the Kenny Pickett quarterback. That's the Hendon Hooker quarterback. That's the I'm trying to think who else has been like that. But like those type of quarterbacks are weird. Like Joe Burrow was like that. Joe Burrow wasn't very good for most of his college career. And then that final year at LSU, he absolutely blew the doors off of college football. So it can work out. It's just you got to wonder, like, one thing it makes me feel good about, though, with these quarterbacks like Bo Nix and Michael Penix, I feel good about their work ethic, knowing that they got a lot better in college. Because, like, you
Yeah.
never want to see a guy like, I'm trying to think what quarterback was like good as a freshman and then like terrible the rest of their college career. Even like maybe Sam Howell, kind of, because Sam Howell was really good early in his career and then got worse as
Quinn
the
Ewers was never good.
Who?
I was making a joke. Quinn Ewers was never good.
Quinn Ewers was never good. Yeah. I mean, Quinn Ewers against Alabama has been good. That's about it.
Hey, I got one. Kadon Slovis.
Yeah.
Kadon Slovis is the one.
Kadon Slovis Spencer Rattler. Spencer Rattler's another one too.
There too. Dude, Kadon, I don't think people realize Kadon Slovis in his true freshman year when he was thrown to, I think it was Pittman, Monra, like all those receivers.
London
Like
was a freshman too, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he threw 30 touchdowns that year to like 8 picks as a true freshman.
Yeah, no, he was good. Yeah, and Spencer Rattler at Oklahoma his freshman year looked like a superstar quarterback too. Like,
is it Kadon Slovis at BYU now?
I would prefer like a 4th or 5th year player that has gotten better multiple years of their collegiate career, like Bo Nix, like Michael Penix has, than a guy like, you know, Kadon Slovis or something in a draft process, because those guys, like, I question their work ethic if they were really good freshmen and never got better.
Yeah, no, for sure. Pick 2 PPR. By the way, he played in the 2019 Holiday Bowl. Kadon Slovis did 4 years ago. Pick 2 PPR.
He's on his like 4th team right now. Also,
yeah, the guy is just a journeyman college quarterback. Pick 2 PPR. Drake, Hollywood, Terry, Jamar, Sorback, Najee, Taysom, started Thielen, Montgomery, Foreman.
Didn't get an answer. Did we actually not answer your question?
We did. I said. Wait,
I thought we answered it, but either way, we said
Terry and Jamar, right? Am I tripping?
Yeah. So yeah, Jamar and Terry's probably the highest ranked of that group for me, but Drake would be close. So yeah, Terry and Jamar would be the guys that I would go with, and then started Thielen. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have started Foreman over those guys personally, but it worked out for you. So.
I mean, we do have a bet on that. Speaking of Javonte, that's one of the hanging bets that we have from Thursday.
yeah, it's the only one I'm pretty sure. So, but you're in a good spot though. You should be just fine regardless.
I was just gonna say it's funny because if Foreman punches in that touchdown, and now it's like actually like a decent bet if he doesn't fucking do that. Like that might have been one of the grossest Thursday night games I've seen. But let's keep smashing these.
Yeah, do you got more, or am I back up to the top here?
We are caught up on Shoopers.
Okay. Joe says, did I win this trade? I gave away Walker for A-Chain and Javonte. Yeah, you crushed that trade,
this
dude.
guy.
I would have done that. I probably would have done this for either of these guys straight up. Maybe not A-Chain because I'm a little bit more pessimistic about that, but I would rather have Javonte Williams and Kenneth Walker rest of the season.
Yeah, I mean,
that's a bold. I'd say that's a relatively bold take, but I would prefer Javonte Williams, dude. He's healthy and he's not splitting a backfield. Also, full PPR, should I start Dotson, Myers, or Irwin? I have Dotson higher than Myers this week.
Easy. Yeah, Dotson. By the way, real quick, since we were shitting on Kadon Slovis, fun fact, he's thrown 80 touchdown passes in his career, and 30 of them came in that true freshman year, and he's played 5 seasons. 30 of his 80 touchdowns came in his true freshman year, and he's on his 5th season and 3rd team.
Crazy.
All right, we're caught up here.
Kyler or Sam Howell? I have Howell higher.
Yeah, you got to go Howell just to see how Kyler reacts, coming off the injury. But I mean, moving forward, if he just looks like typical Kyler, like he's going to be way higher.
Yeah, he's going to be an every week top 5 quarterback. But I'm playing Howell this week at least. Pick 1 PPR: Jalen Warren, Brian Robinson, Gus Edwards. I'm going probably B-Rob there.
B-Rob's it's tough because when Washington's the underdog, they throw the ball 50 times. And that's what I'm a little bit scared of with B-Rob. If the Seahawks get rolling early, he might have like 8 rushing attempts for 31 yards and 2 targets. That's what I'm worried about. Again, I think he's the proper play here because you're betting on the opportunity share. But I wouldn't be shocked if Jalen Warren ends up being the answer after this week.
Yeah, that one's really close. I think they were actually back-to-back in my in my rankings when I did the tier list video as well.
Yeah.
Godwin or Terry?
Terry.
That's McLaurin, not close. I
Yeah.
think he might have super
Agreed.
chatted something about that, but yeah, that's what I'm
Yep.
going with there. Bailey says start 1 half PPR, 6 point per passing touchdown. Taysom Hill, Curtis Samuel, Wan'Dale Robinson,
Taysom.
or Tajay Spears. I mean, yeah, 6 point per passing touchdown only helps him. So yeah, I would take Taysom Hill there pretty easily.
Yeah, I mean, Taysom Hill, not even baking in. Like, obviously, like, I mean, he showed last week he can just throw a touchdown in, but like the guy gets insane work when they get inside the 10. Like, when they are inside the 10, it is Kamara and Taysom, and one of them, if they're scoring a touchdown, is going to be the one that scores it.
That's
the
what's a
Saints'
stat
offense.
that I'm surprised hasn't been invented yet? Percentage of work that's a high value touch.
That would
so
be
like
a
either
really
a red zone
metric.
carry or like a goal line carry or a 20+
Or
yard
down
target or something
Yeah.
like that, or end zone target. Like if somebody could consolidate like the work, because like I'm sure there's guys like Najee Harris that get like 90% of their work is like not
Inside the 20s.
high value touches, and then there's guys like
Third and
Devon
threes.
A-Chain who like 70% of their work is high value touches or something like that.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty crazy to look at. Even potentially, you could even dig into like, you know, percentage of carries that are just up the middle in between the 20s carries. That might actually be easier to weed out just those carries, because like stretch runs and stuff like that, like those are going to have higher expected success rates and higher expected points than those type of things. Tim says, morning, fellas, 4 point per passing touchdown, 2 quarterback league. I have Lamar, Burrow, and Kyler. Jesus, dude. Which two would you start? I mean, you have to sit Kyler and see what happens, probably.
That's crazy, though. Is that a dynasty? That it might be a redraft. I don't know. Regardless, though, that's fucking freaky.
Nuts.
Freaky.
Give us some spicy picks. I did give you guys some already, but I do really, like I said, we did our locks of the week and all that kind of stuff already. I do have a parlay that I could maybe drop onto the screen right now if you guys want to check it out.
By the way, dude,
you actually can't tail it though because the first leg of it is already hit because I took the under in the Germany game. But basically the parlay is the under in the Germany game, over in the Bengals Texans game at 47, over in the Buccaneers Titans game at 38.5. I got that pretty low, so I thought that was a good spread. And then over 44 in the Falcons Cardinals game, and then Jaguars to cover 3 points at home against the 49ers.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
The Jaguars one's making me a little sketched out, but I think the rest of that one's pretty solid.
By the way, Bush, what do you think you would have to bet to win $100 on the Cowboys money line today?
To win $100?
To win $100.
$850?
2,249. They are minus 2,249 tonight or today.
That's crazy.
Minus 2,249 is fucking ridiculous.
I might bet on the Giants, dude. That's like crazy.
Fucking nuts.
Imagine if the Cowboys lose this game, how pissed are you gonna be?
I mean, I honestly can't tell you because I just don't.
Would this be the worst loss like than the Cardinals one and the 49ers game?
By far. Like even if you lost us by a field goal, like I would fucking not finish watching the game.
Like let's say you lose this and Tommy DeVito plays well and the Giants defense plays well. Like you didn't lose this because you like turned the ball over 6 times or something. Like you lost because the Giants straight out played you.
They are a bottom 5 team. You want to be a top 5 team. It doesn't matter how
you gotta beat the shit out of them.
You have to beat the shit out of them. That's how I stand on it. You have to, especially, and again, I don't see that being the case because you came off a close loss against the Eagles last week. Like I think they're going to be on their A game, so I don't see it happening. But like if it happened, I probably wouldn't come out of hiding, to be honest.
Yeah. Also, if you guys want some gut-alytics, I don't think the Bucs will lose 5 games in a row. I think they're probably going to beat the Titans today.
Yeah, I don't mind that. They're minus 2.5. 57%.
The spread I don't like, but if you're just going to bet a minus 150 money line today, I think the Bucs money line's pretty safe.
Fair.
But again, you're also betting on the Bucs, which is never safe. So
yep.
JSN oh yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Mark 12 team half PPR 2 flex starting Pollard, Eckler, Keenan, Sun Godfrey, flex Kincaid, Ridley, bench Gus, Flowers, Johnson, Gus or Flowers over Ferguson. No, I would honestly just leave it as is. To be honest, I love Ferguson.
I would
this
also
week.
leave that as is. I don't think. I want to mess with the Browns defense, but I don't have to.
I don't think like Ferguson has been amazing in these last 2 games. Ever since the bye week, like he is the second target on the Cowboys offense, and the Cowboys passing offense has been really good.
Just copy and paste the new Dalton Schultz into the Dalton Schultz role.
Well, I said it this offseason. I'm like, dude, like Ferguson might be an even better player than Schultz, and so far this year, He's looked incredible.
2 years from now, when he walks in free agency, Luke Schoonmaker's going to walk right into the Dalton Schultz role.
Bro, it's just, I mean, the narrative of Dak loves his tight ends is just thriving right now, apparently.
Can we get like Brock Bowers on the Cowboys then if Dak loves his tight ends? Like, I'm going to be really annoyed if we get Brock Bowers going to like the Patriots where they're going to use 6 other tight ends.
Dude, I mean, I don't know. Maybe he Jalen Carter fell to the Eagles, all I'm saying. I doubt, I severely doubt he would fall to the Cowboys, but I mean, Jalen Carter's been probably the best interior.
Bowers would be a top 10 pick. Like,
I agree.
The NFL's not that stupid.
Yeah. I mean, JT Sanders would be fun, but I mean, at the end of the day, we're just not going to take a tight end because Ferguson's been that good.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be cornerback, receiver, or offensive lineman come draft time because we do need a tackle if Terrence Steele is going to continue to be atrocious.
Dog shit.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I didn't answer Billy's question here. He says JSN or Curtis Samuel. I'm going JSN there pretty easily. Especially with Samuel banged up. Think A-Chain will be top 10 when he returns.
Top 10's tough. Top 15's the guarantee, I think, but top 10's tough. I know it's like a set number, 15 versus 10, but it's tough to say. Like right now, if I'm looking through my rest of season rankings, can you say with full confidence when Devon A-Chain comes back that you would take him over Kamara, Pollard, Jacobs, Bijan, Gibbs, Swift, Montgomery, Mixon? Like it's tough.
I would take him over Mixon, but like we're getting into the top 15 range. Like you can't say with full confidence you'd take him over those guys. Like, yeah, he's performed better than like Tony Pollard and stuff like that, but like I can't say with full confidence he's going to be right back to his 15 to 20 touch workload. Like it's probably going to take him 2 more games after week 11.
Jeff Wilson's active now.
Workload. Jeff Wilson's back now too, and Raheem Mostert's not going anywhere. He's leading the NFL in touchdowns. So, it's difficult to say that like A-Chain's going to just like walk into a huge workload. Like it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, for sure.
He could be a solid option, but I actually traded him because I think people are really optimistic about A-Chain, thinking that he's just going to be like an RB1 the rest of the season when he comes back, which is possible, but I don't think it's a guarantee.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. Where are we?
We have another sleeper as well.
No, we got it. I got it.
We're good.
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. Zaddy Goated, great name there. Start one flex Godwin, Addison, or Javonte.
I'll go with Javonte here.
Javonte there, yeah.
Yep.
We're getting a lot of questions from Bailey. Well, A-Chain, I don't think so, to be honest, Bailey. I think he'll probably be worked in a little bit more next week in his first game back. Will Arthur Smith use Bijan this week? God, I fucking hope so, dude.
What side of the bed did he wake up on?
Yeah, literally. Algier for the red zone. I really fucking hope not. Let's go. What's up, Pionio? JSN or Gus full PPR? I'm taking JSN here. I don't think Gus is going to be a really great option this week. Yeah. Just traded CJ Stroud and DK for Josh Allen, a 16-team super flex. Bro, Josh Allen should be untradeable in that format.
Okay, hypothetically, you add 2 firsts to this deal. Are you still taking Josh Allen in a 16-team super flex?
1158 all BRB, by the
way. Okay. Yeah, no, I mean you're smashing that out of the park there. Where did we leave? 1158. Corey said. So let me go up. He will be right back. Good morning, boys. Start 1 running back, 2 wide receiver, 2 flex. Gibbs, Montgomery, Javonte, Godwin, Addison, Dotson, JSN, Watson, MT. Also Watson or Russ. Thanks. Sorry for the long queue. Yeah, no problem, brother. No problem. You got to get your question answered. So I respect it. I'm going with both the Lions running backs here, to be honest. I'm probably going Javonte in the flex. In terms of those 2 wide receivers, I think I have right now highest Godwin and Addison. Yeah, so that's what I would do there, Leo. Turn Irwin time. Hopefully not, because we do have Irv Smith. But I mean, if he pops off, we do have Joe Burrow on that FFPC team, so I wouldn't hate it. Both can go off. Smash, I like 107 you in here. I want to see at least. We'll set the goal at a 75 like goal. If you haven't already liked the stream, make sure you do so. If we answered your question, if you're enjoying the content, hit that like button. It does help us a lot in that YouTube algorithm. It's a good pick. Pick 3, Ridley, Cooper, Addison, Gabe Davis. Ridley, Cooper, Addison, Gabe Davis. Let me see these guys are like literally all in the same range of my rankings. Ridley I have as my wide receiver. That's the rest of the season. My apologies. Ridley I have this week as my wide receiver 19. Cooper I have as wide receiver 20. Addison I have as my wide receiver 24, and Gabe Davis I have as my wide receiver 27. So if you're picking 3 of this group, I would go with Ridley, Cooper, and Addison. Going for 7-game winning streak this week after starting 0-3 playoff bound. Let's go, Price. Let's go. James Cook or Javonte Williams. Give me Javonte Williams there. Ass eyes. Half PPR start Charbonnet or Shakir. I'm going Khalil Shakir here. I think Charbonnet is also a fine play given the game script, but at the same time, I think Shakir's in a smash spot. So I want to trust the upside. Yeah, no, it is not. It is a homer pick taking the Cowboys minus 17.5. It's just like the Giants are bad. Bills are going to be scoring a lot, so if the Broncos want to keep up, Russ will be throwing a lot. Yeah, I can definitely see that as well, official. Thoughts on JSN rest of the season and in Dynasty? So JSN I raised to a top 20 wide receiver in Dynasty, 3 straight double-digit PPR performances. We're starting to see that prospect profile gleam. In terms of the rest of the season, I think you can consider him a top 35-ish level wide receiver. Very similar projection, in my opinion, to that of a guy like Rashid Rice. So, yeah, I know. A very, very big stonks up for him. Full PPR, Taysom Hill or Evan Ingram. I would go with Taysom Hill here, to be honest. Just a higher upside. Would you guys trade Andrews in a package for a top receiver and keep Kincaid? Or would you trade Kincaid a package instead for a good receiver? Depends. If you're talking top wide receiver, like, are you able to get up to, are you able to get up to Amon-Ra St. Brown? Can you use Mark Andrews to get up to Amon-Ra St. Brown? Because if you could do that, I really just want to keep Kincaid. Andrews, obviously, I prefer rest of the season, but at the same time, Kincaid is also another top 4 option for me. I lightly touched the like button. Appreciate that, Bailey. Appreciate that. With Zach Wilson, I might strongly consider that under 0.5 yards for Garrett LMAO. I don't blame you, to be honest, but yeah. I'm sure you guys will be betting on my question as usual. Yeah, we always seem to bet on your question there, Scott. Pretty funny. We do have a super here that I am getting to from R Gravy. Appreciate that. He says half PPR season on the line, Flowers or JSN. Where do I have them right now? I have JSN at 33 higher than Zay Flowers. So I would actually go with JSN there. I'm trusting the game script. I'm trusting the implied total, and I'm trusting the matchup here. Washington just can't cover anybody, to be honest. Now where do we leave off? Scott said, bet on this question. Yeah, okay, here. Mac Jones, yeah. Had a Cincinnati team total change. That would make sense that their team total did change because obviously with the news of T. Higgins being out, with Jamar Chase being banged up for this game. Oh, need a kicker with some upside. You got? I haven't even looked at the kickers, but if you I'm assuming this is out of guys that you don't have, not that you don't have, that are probably not rostered. Honestly, just go with a kicker from a high implied game total. That would honestly just be my advice. So if you want to go, Dicker's probably not going to be available, but if Dicker was available, that'd be good. I don't know who's going to be available on your wire, to be honest there, Sean. Schultz or Hawk PPR, I believe you asked that. We would go with Schultz this week. Javonte or Addison. I'd go Javonte. That's close though. It's really close. Zach Moss officially in the shadow realm. We love to see that, Carlos. We love to see that. Tank Dell, Devontae, Amari Cooper, Montgomery start 2. Should I be nervous about my usual stud top 2 wide receivers? Now, I would go with Devontae and I would go with David Montgomery here, Taylor Gang. TFL for Barmore. Let's go. That guy's a beast, Christian Barmore. Russ or Levis, leaning Levis due to the matchups. Let me see where I have them ranked. I have Levis at 18 and Russ at 15. Sorry. Levis at 18, Russ at 15. So I would still go with Russ there. I'd still go with Russ. We left off here. You guys want me my game last week advising me to start Aaron Jones over Kareem Hunt? Let's go, Bailey. Let's go. Just drop Shakir. Don't drop Shakir, man. Do not drop Shakir. He's going to be good. They're playing a lot of 11 personnel, traditional 11 personnel. And that was the big difference at the start of the year is they were technically running 11 personnel, but with Kincaid mostly as their flex because they were having Dawson Knox as their inline tight end. So now that you're having a true slot receiver with Khalil Shakir and letting Kincaid just dominate at the tight end position, their offense from the passing perspective has really opened up just by playing Shakir. So I'm excited there. Full PPR, you super chatted that. Perfect. Godwin or Addison PPR. Godwin came up on the injury report with an illness. I have Addison there by 1 spot. Actually, wait, no, I have Godwin by 1 spot. That just tells you how close it is. They're back to back for me. I would go Godwin slightly, but again, that is a 1 spot difference. That's my wide receiver 23 versus my wide receiver 24 there, Ted. PPR, I believe we answered. Pick 2, Sutton, Judy, Connor, PPR. I think you're sitting Judy here, to be honest there, Michael. Full PPR, 2 flex spots. I have to choose 2 between Devontae Adams, Calvin Ridley, Christian Kirk, Javonte Williams, Taysom Hill, and Brian Robinson. I'm going with Devontae and Javonte. Go with the Tays. We trust in the Tays, baby. Noah Brown, Woods, or JSN. Give me JSN there, Johnny. Though I will say with Noah Brown, I am pretty intrigued by him this week with Nico Collins being out. He's a top 40 play for me, but JSN's a top 35 play, in my opinion. Now, where did we leave off? It's always hard to track down exactly where we leave off sometimes. Okay, here. I believe we answered that, right? Yeah, I did. Zappy time. Burrow or Stroud? I would go with Joe Burrow, though. Eduardo. Zappy's going out. You're right. That was the end of the game. Tank Dell or Montgomery as well. I have to start one of them in my flex, probably two. I would go with David Montgomery there, Taylor. Weather in Seattle is supposed to be crap. Yeah, I didn't even hear about that. Fair play. That makes sense, though, in Washington because the game yesterday with Washington was bad in terms of weather. I have Marquise Brown in the flex. Not too shallow. Oh, yeah, we went over that. Garrett Wilson or Adams rest of the season? I'm still going to go with Devontae Adams, but I do think that's a conversation at this point with how well Garrett Wilson's playing given the circumstance. Been called for the passive benches all year. Let's go, Ryan. Let's go. Dobbs or Goff? Who do I have higher? I have Josh Dobbs at 14, Goff at 8. So I would go with Jared Goff there, Joseph. I've been trying to make trades, bro. People are stingy. People are very, very stingy in leagues, man. Like it's on like when they see you have a good team, they like Corey was saying, they're just decentivized to trade with you. Sorry, I'm like on fumes right now. Sit one, Jacobs, Ayuk, Deontay Johnson, Ridley. You're sitting Ridley there, Joseph. You're sitting Ridley. Drake London or Jahan Dotson. I have Drake London higher there, Irvin. Of course, he threw a pick on a fake spike. Anytime there, G, anytime. Also have Achan, just trade away Gabe Davis for Najee because I have too many wide receivers. Yeah, I don't mind that, official. I think that's pretty fair value. Pick 2, DK, Addison, or Garrett Wilson. You got to sit Addison here because those other two are my top 5 are in my top 15, but I do like Addison too. But Addison is the sit. Burrow, Jamar, Demont, and Kincaid. Yeah, that's nuts. Pop Douglas season. Yeah, he had a pretty good game. Half PPR, Kirk, Lockett, Debo, Terry. Pick one for the flex. I have Terry McLaurin ranked the highest out of this group, so I would go with Terry McLaurin there, Jordan. Yeah, you super chatted that. Appreciate that. Non-PPR, pick one, Javonte, Gus, or Madison. Thanks. I'm going with Javonte Williams there, Al. What's up, guys? What's up, Mac? Big OG of the channel, so shout out to Mac. Who should I start, McBride or Christian Watson? I mean, I'm going to go with Christian Watson here because I don't think with Kyler back, that's close. Honestly, if you're just not willing to take the heartache of Christian Watson, I don't mind just going McBride. Non-PPR, bench one, Deontay Johnson, Hopkins, Calvin Ridley, or Tank Dell. I would bench Hopkins out of this group there, Travis. JSN or Godwin, PPR, I would go with Chris Godwin there at Caden. Full PPR, Pickens or McBride at the flex. I'd go with George Pickens there, David. I'd go George Pickens. Shout out Ben, OG in the chat. He says, hey, boys, hope all is well. Hope all is well with you as well, Ben. Glad to see that the biggest Cardinals fan is able to watch Kyler Murray play, so appreciate that. Getting started early for Pat Tillman. Miss you guys. I miss you too, Ben. I miss you too. Cracking some brews for you guys in K1 today. Go Cards beat AL. I think you guys got it this week. I think you guys got it there, Ben. Hopefully they can win for you. Heineke or Mayfield. I have Heineke at 20, Mayfield at 16. I would go with Mayfield there, Charlie. Relatively close, same range. Good morning, Kyler or Purdy. Kyler at 11, I have Purdy at 7. I would go with Purdy, but it's pretty close. Howell or Kyler, I'd go with Howell there. PPR, Singletary or Mike Thomas, thanks. Mike Thomas, I know he's been dealing with the arrest, I believe, right? How is what's going on there? Just non-issue. What are we doing? I mean, I would go with Michael Thomas regardless because I think a Singletary in his own right is just very inefficient. But yeah. Who would you trade Barkley and Waddle or Olave for? Lineup is Josh Allen, Eckler, Barkley, Javonte Williams, Mike Evans, Puka, St. Brown, Flowers, Lockett, Marquise Brown, and Kincaid. Good morning, y'all. Appreciate that. Out of those guys, I mean, could you trade Barkley and Olave and move up to I doubt you can get McCaffrey. Can you get maybe Stephon Diggs and a filler running back or something like that? That's what I'd be looking to do. But either way, it is 1 o'clock. Games are on. I'm just going to sit back. Hopefully you guys win in your fantasy lineups, secure those playoff spots. Again, we are in crunch time right now. Last few games are going to be the deciding factor between you missing the playoffs outright or you potentially getting the bye. So make sure you are in tune for these next few weeks. So appreciate you guys. If you enjoyed, like I said, leave a like down below. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care.